Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Um, I'm over here at the laundromat. Probably gonna do a load of clothes. I don't know. It's getting kind of late. I got here pretty early. Um, but I started messing around with all kinds of stuff. The microphone. I bought a head shaver. And let me show you. I was gonna do a whole video on this, but I don't know. That was kind of I don't know. I'm not good at that, but I'm learning, so I can do stuff like that. So look, this thing has 6 heads. This is crazy. It's charging now, so it has a green light. Anyway, it's one of those, I think it's so cool, man. Um, and you know what? You would think something like this costs like 50 to 70 bucks. It cost me $23, man, at Burlington Coat or Burlington, formerly known as Burlington Coat Factory. I love that place, man. It's awesome. Um, for some reason, my daughter thinks it's like a cheap store. I mean, yeah, the prices are great, but it's not like a cheap. I mean, I don't think it is. I just think it got good prices. Anyway, I'm feeling a little bit better. I know I didn't post a couple of videos, but I did make those videos, and I did mention like, man, I'm sick again. So I know this is probably news to you, but I was sick like 2, 3 different times. Maybe I'll add some of those clips into here because you know what? I need to start getting back onto this, man. I mean, I've been feeling a little bit down. I'll throw in a clip about how I felt, how I've been feeling about that. I now that it's getting warmer, I feel less reluctant to do anything because like to my car because I'm not gonna be in the car much longer with this heat. Um, and I know, man, like let's just say I didn't have a job, a regular, W-2 job or W-4 job, whatever. Say I had like a mobile job, like online or whatnot. I would just follow the weather. I would go where it's nice, up by the mountains somewhere. But I can't do that. I gotta stay here in town because I work here, and it's hot in this town. It's hot. And so I'm gonna have to get a motel for a couple of months, and that's it sucks because I've been vlogging this whole time about my daily life here, living in my car, as I work and you know I don't know, I don't even know what to say. I just been kind of down and out lately because of this. You know, I mean, I'm grateful that I'm gonna be under a roof with my daughter a lot of the times. But, you know, it's only temporary, it's not like, what's there even to get excited about that. Like I can't even fix up the place like I want to because it's just gonna be for a couple of months. I don't know. And then I'm gonna have a lot of stuff that I'm gonna have to put in my car or in storage again at the end of that. And I just feel like I'm going backwards here. I don't know. I wish, I cannot stand the heat, you guys. I really can't. Even besides this car life thing, I never could stand the heat. I love the cold weather. Love it. And man, it's unbearable to be in your car in like 100-degree weather. I mean, obviously, I know some people know that, and they still do it. That's crazy because they have no choice. And hey, hats off to them people, man. That's real talk. And for finding ways to still struggle and live in their car during these hot ass times or during cold ass times. I think I gotta take a shit. Yep, I gotta take a shit. I know that was random, but boy, I gotta drink some coffee right now, and I think it's ready to exit down the other way. Oh, that's gross, right? Just keeping it real. So, I think I'm gonna head to the bathroom. Hopefully nobody's in there. Then I get back and I'm gonna clean this stuff out, man. All right, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. I don't know, but I'm just trying to think of it in a positive perspective. You know, where like I could start. I got to redo my my window coverings because they're getting a little dingy. I might even get the ones online that everybody gets for like 150 bucks from like WeatherTech. Excuse me, but see, I still got like a lingering cough. But anyway, so yeah, hold on, give me a second. Somebody just passed by. I'm still, I've been doing this for a few months, man, but I still get a little like not shy, but embarrassed. I guess you could say I'm gonna keep it 100. I get a little embarrassed when people are looking at me like, "What the hell is he doing?" But I mean, to be honest, I know they don't really care. They could give two flying fucks, right? They're just going about their business as I should. But damn, my window's dirty, huh? Anyway, I got one of the windows rolled up. I want nobody to hear me. See, I'm trying to tell you, man, it's embarrassing for me. Nah, it's just awkward. That's all. I'm getting past that though. Especially if I want to do this, long term, which I do because this really helps me, guys. I get a lot off my chest just by pushing record, and I want to say thank you for that. And I know my channel has been like at a stale, with like 33 subscribers, 32, I think. For a while. I haven't posted in about a month. Um, and that doesn't discourage me, because for the fact that hell, there's 33 people that that subscribed, and man, that makes me feel real good, man. But it just it goes to show you that YouTube is an up and down thing, and I'm not trying to make the money off of it, obviously. And if I was, I better think of something different, right? But I just wanted to document my journey of doing this car life. I saw that it was a thing on YouTube that people were actually living in a car by choice. So I wanted to jump in there and be like, hey, shit, man, I'm not fucking down and out. Hey, I'm doing it by choice too. I just, just so I can feel better, for about myself. Speaking of which, I do want to do a video, man, based on Well, let me rewind. The other day I'm scrolling, right, doom scrolling, and of course other car lifers pop up my feed, and this one channel popped up, and I guess the video, I guess the title was like, hey, I'm lonely, or I do get lonely or something like that. And though it wasn't a big old deep, video about that, it did, she did talk about, that you know we do get lonely out here, man. People that live in their car, you know I mean, the majority of us are introverts anyway. We like, you know, our own company, or just don't like being around other people, or whatever the case may be. Hold on. Up ahead. Okay, I gotta figure out some lighting before when I don't have my window covers up, because I feel like if I have a bunch of bright light, everybody could just see, which they can, but again, I should just not care. Anyway, it got me thinking, like, man, hey, I get lonely too, man. I already deal with some loneliness, even before all this, even when I was with somebody, even when I was at home, with my family or whatnot, you know, there's only one person, there's only one Robert, and that's me. Hi, I'm Robert. Seriously though, you know, if you get lucky enough to find somebody who share your similar interests, or who share your likes, your wants, and your needs, or understand them, or believe in them with you, or whatever the case may be, then great, kudos. Hey, that's an accomplishment. You know what I mean? Like, what do they call that? Finding your soulmate, or even just a friend, or a family member who shares that type bond with you, which most people have, brothers and sisters, or whatnot, cousins. um I don't have that. I really don't. I'm not close to my brother. He's incarcerated. He's been incarcerated for like a couple of decades already. I'm not close to my sister. Um, I talk to them. I talk to my sister. I don't really talk to my brother as much, but or at all, really. I talk to my sister though, and it's just we just don't have that relationship. We just don't, and when we did, it was based on alcohol and going out clubbing and shit, right? Which is cool, but I don't do that anymore. So, anyway, so I do get lonely, man. My closest interaction to like friendship is at work with my coworkers. And to be honest, at the end of the day, I don't consider them my friends because they don't really know me. They don't even know I live in my freaking car, you know what I mean? Only like one person does. And yeah, I consider that person a friend, but just like a working friend, you know what I mean? Because outside of work we don't talk, you know what I mean? Um but anyway, could they be good friends outside of work? I'm sure they can. I mentioned in the past video that I don't even give people that time of day because I mean, not that I'm all that. No, far from it. But it's just that in my past, I've lost a lot of friends, um, a lot, by death, and man, I don't ever want to go through that again, man, at all. And I'm not trying to be like, well, I'm gonna make that, that's gonna be the reason why I don't make friends. No, it's not. It's just I don't need them right now. I don't need friends. I don't. I live in my car by myself. I'm making money by myself. I'm on this video by myself. Besides you guys are shit. You guys are my friends. No, but you know what I mean. I'm in this world living it. You know, on a daily basis by myself. I'm okay with that, man. But going back to my what I originally said in the beginning, it does get lonely, and a lot of the times I'm lonely. A lot. Um, I used to say I'm alone, but I'm not lonely, but that don't even make sense because I'm alone and I'm lonely. I mean, seriously, am I all sad and depressed about it? No, I mean no. I mean 9 times out of 10, no, I'm not. I'm smart enough and man enough to admit, know that at times, man, I feel lonely today. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna go off a bender and start drinking and mess up my 13 years sobriety. But you know, it does get lonely. It does, and I do things as an older adult. I do things, and I'm smart enough to know now. Because I'm older. I like to think I'm a little more wiser. And I do other things to get myself out of that. I'll pick up the phone and maybe call my dad or call my daughter or go somewhere with my daughter or text somebody or whatever the case. Go somewhere where there's a lot of people. Go to the mall or go buy myself something. Which I hardly do, but it always makes me feel good when I do. But but yeah, it's lonely. I'm not gonna lie. Like 85% of the time, it's a lonely situation. When you're out here living in your car. Now I'm lucky enough to be suburban car lifing. I don't know if that's even the right word, but I have to be in the city living in my car because I work. So it's not as lonely as some of these other people that car life or van life out there, that nomad, that boondock it out there because and travel and park and camp out, in different cities every other day or night or on the side of the road or at the national parks or whatnot. You know, that can get real lonely. I know because I mean, shit, we already get lonely doing this, but when you're not around other people, that can add to it. Intensely. And so my hat goes off to you guys, to the guys and girls that do that, man, and still, go about their business. Anyway, is loneliness, something to make me stop living in my car? No, not even close. You know what I mean? Because if I was in a regular place, under a roof, I'd still be the same way. I'd still have my lonely moments. I'd still be by myself. I'd still be doing things by myself. And that's just keeping it 100. You know what I mean? So it's not like, oh, because I live in my car, I'm lonely now, or as opposed to if I had an apartment or a house, oh yeah, I'm not lonely no more. Why? Because I have a roof over my head. That just don't make sense, right? Loneliness is a feeling, and you're gonna feel that way whether you're under a roof, under a car roof, at your job, in the store, walking, talking, you know. It's just the way we feel sometimes, for whatever situation. But anyway, I think more people, especially living in their car, should bring this up, man, because I know a lot of people feel lonely living in their car and in van life and in car life and it, because we're by ourselves, man. Yes, there is some people that do it with other people or couples or whatnot, and shit, they don't. That's they're lucky, that's a privilege that I just don't have right now, So I'm accepting applications for somebody who wants to move in my car. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm a roommate, a car mate. Nah, I like living in my car by myself, man. I really do. I learned a lot. I learn a lot about myself. Challenging myself every day. About where am I gonna sleep? When am I gonna wake up? How am I gonna do the car tonight? You know, it's just it's fun to me, man. This I'm having the time of my life. I'm living my best life right now. I really am. I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing. Like I said before, I don't have to be out here living in my car. I don't. I have enough money saved that I could get a place right now, an apartment, mind you, not a house. You know, but then what? I want to continue saving more money. I want to get a new car or another car. This car's not that old, but I want another car. One that I could convert. Whatnot. Um, I can't do that if I get a place right now. I can't, man. I spend so much money on my daughter now. And it makes me feel good that I can do that. I couldn't do that if I was living in a place. You know, it just is how it is. I don't have a big education. You know, um, I didn't go to college. I don't have I don't even really have a certain trade. I'm not that handy with my hands. you know, um, man, I'm not sounding too much like a catch, am I? I know, man. But you get the gist of it, man. I forgot my train of thought though. I think because I'm hungry. I'm gonna run into Walmart over here and get some milk and cereal, man. Um, and then I'm gonna set things up, man, so I can hunker down. I'll holler at I can't even talk right. I'll holler back at you guys in a little bit, okay? All right.